Hi, I'm Emily, and welcome to the Posh Mama Club's first Poshcast. Thank you for coming. We have Allie, Jeanette, and Kate, and I'm very, very excited to have you guys here. We're all about putting the glitz and glam in motherhood, but this is also to kind of bring a reality check to it all, and maybe even give us a little bit more of what is it that people call us that we're not. What's the word? Oh, it's going to be a long pause.
What a misconception.
And a misconception.
Well, no, we're not relatable.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So this is going to bring everything down to earth. I think people see the photos and they don't realize that, like, prior to this, like, I was wearing leggings with holes and like Clorox bleach stains and like dandruff. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, this is an illusion because it's just a moment in time to kind of get away from the chaos, right? Get away from the chaos, the tantrums, the diaper changes, the arguments, everything that comes with parenting. It's not all glamorous. And in all honesty, parenting isn't glamorous, right? And it's just giving that moment in time to just have some fun, right? And just feel alive again. So I'm glad to have you guys. I know each of you are passionate and have something very unique about each and every one of you. That's why you guys are here. And I can't wait to let everyone know about you guys. So, Allie, do you want to start?
Hi, everyone. I am Allie Zenga, and I own Makeup Artistry by Allie Zenga. And my handles on Instagram are Allie Zenga Beauty.
Great.
You can follow me there.
And she is here to discuss what's hot and what's not.
That's right.
Okay. And just to, give it a quick synopsis, this episode is about Miss Independent.
And the second master's is in advanced conflict resolution and conflict.
Awesome.
And I also have a certificate in Homeland Security from Penn State.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is Jeanette. We're so happy you're here. We're very excited to have you jump on a couple topics that we have ready for today. And then we have Miss Kate.
Hello. It's really good to be here. My name's Kate Pentelow. My background is financial services in London, UK, hence the accent. And I'm super excited to talk about Money Mindset Mother, which is my handle on Instagram. And it kind of was born off the back of the pandemic, helping mothers, helping women with their money and with their mindset. And really just simple money makeovers so you can take control of your money, be self-sufficient, not be reliant on anyone, and, smash that glass ceiling, so to speak. So there's lots off the back of this.
That's awesome. Thank you for coming as well. How did you guys individually find the club? I'm so curious because everyone's got a funny story or unique. Well, I know how I kind of stalked you.
You kind of did.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
I was still back in Massachusetts, and I saw the Posh Mama reach out to me, and I was like, Posh Mama, what is this? And being from Massachusetts and a big Massachusetts, amount of people living here, I had a lot of people reach out to me, and a lot of people tag me in the Posh Mama Club.
Her picture, she was in a blue bandage dress.
In front of a castle.
And her kids were just the cutest. And she had like the big lashes and the big hair. And I was like, I think this is my soulmate. I need to reach out to her.
So it was just funny. So you reached out to me and I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to Naples and I'm joining the Posh Mama Club.
Glad that you did.
I thought, wow, this is an incredible experience. I couldn't wait to get here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Makes me so happy. Jeanette, how did you?
So I have known you for a long
Too
time.
Long? Years.
Very long time. We used to both work together in Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
And, always remained friends. Maybe not super close over the years. Obviously, I joined the military. I travel quite a lot.
Yeah.
But we always stayed in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I needed help within the military, I was advancing in my
They
jobs.
called me. I think
the FBI
the
actually
FBI actually called me.
On a funny note on that, you have to write down people that you trust and know. And half of the people that I put on my list, they were, I guess, too scared to interact with the feds.
No, I mean, my dad's
would
military. I didn't care. But
they would literally just close the door or I don't know who you're
they
talking
slipped
about.
cards under my condo door.
Oh no, they're resilient.
And I was out straight out of college. And it was really funny because usually when someone's like, hey, I'm putting you on a reference, and it's like a paper company or a front desk position. It's like, hi, we're the FBI calling for Jeanette Noble.
at the end of the day, you actually went through with, you know, the whole conversation with the feds.
Mhm.
And that kind of made me.
It sounds really
it
scary.
sounds really bad. But like at that point of time, I really needed help with that part in order to advance. And you did that. So that was kind of always in the back of my mind, like, you know, she didn't have to do that. That was selfless
Forever
service.
grateful.
I feel like
Yeah.
I kind of did. I was kind of like,
I mean, you all, in the back of my mind, I've always been very grateful for that.
oh, you're
And
so sweet.
but I remember something really funny because you called me up and I was in my barracks room and you called me up and you said, hey, you know, FBI just called. And then I, you know, we spoke through about some things. She goes, wow, your English has gotten so good.
That's so funny. I have like the worst memory.
And
This
I'm
is
just
hilarious.
like, wow, geez, like, was it really that bad before? Because I don't feel like it's like that amazing,
No,
you know?
right.
But then, you know, I thought about it. So like, you know, when you join the military, but I'm Swedish, just for the record, anyone who doesn't know, or here's the Swinglish come out. When you go into the military, you're forced to speak English.
Okay.
You know, even if there were Swedish people around, you're not allowed to in uniform.
Okay.
So that kind of, you know, made me speak more English, but also hearing more accents.
Yeah.
Because, you know, living in Miami is not helpful.
No.
At learning English. Spanish, however, phenomenal. But so that kind of caused it. But I remember that conversation. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to build upon this. You know, I was like, I can do better even from here. I feel like we have found our forever home, forever community, just like the sense of community in Naples.
I agree.
You know,
but you still, how did you find us?
Still waiting.
Oh, you see?
How did you?
Throughout this whole time, like we're talking like 16 years in total. But, you know, throughout all of these years, you know, you upload, you know, fun videos and fun pictures. And I'm like, wow, you know what? This is kind of, this resonates with me. This is kind of what I want to do, because throughout the day, I work really, really hard.
I know you do.
And so then at the end of the day, like you do want to put on mascara. You want to make sure that you look good for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't care to impress anybody else.
It's the club, but a lot of people don't resonate with the club. They might watch the videos and they're like, this is obnoxious. This is too much. And that's okay. Looking in the mirror and you're like, I don't even know my identity right now.
Who have I become?
Your friends disappear, right? The ones that were at your baby
Things
shower
like
that
that.
said, I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
The phone stops ringing. And then they say, find this village. And you're like, all right, you know, and then you start, you start going to the villages.
So fast forward that, last July, we finally got signed off by the embassy last June. Last July the 21st, we were here. And I had an expectation, you know, I'm 43. I was like, do you know what? I just want us to be happy, to make this sacrifice and move and not give up my mates in the UK, because I love my mates in the UK and they're incredible. But I'm never gonna match that again. And I accepted that in my head. So I thought this move is about not just liking it, but loving where we're going to be moving to, because it's a huge sacrifice, particularly for me, because when you're the mum and you're the glue to the family, you need your mates, you need your friends, you need that network. So I accepted that I kind of wasn't going to make any new friends here, and I would just meet acquaintances. And I was all right about that, because I'm like, well, I'm older. I've got my mates in the UK. We've got FaceTime. It's fine.
Aww.
But, and then you get into the schools, and I met some amazing mums, and I just accepted that we're all busy and I probably won't meet any friends, and that's fine. But then I met a really nice girl called Monica, who had also moved down from New Jersey. She's in my community.
Fantastic.
The community we're in never used to be anyone sort of like below the age of 55. Times have changed because of the pandemic. Loads of families have migrated down. We got talking and we connected and we hit it off straight away. And then I kept seeing these pictures on her socials of like this really amazing group looking fabulous going out. And there was a Halloween picture. He was all dressed as witches walking down. And I'm like, I want to be a witch.
So
I am a witch, but I mean, I want to be a witch.
I'm a witch. It's the only time I can let it
And
out.
Monica's like, hey, this is a group. I'm like, what do you mean it's a group? And anyway, I kind of ummed and ahed. I'm like, do you know what? I love socializing. My background is sales and networking and advising. I miss this bit to the jigsaw puzzle. You know what? If I meet one person, it'll be a bonus. So then the rest is history. I was like, touch base with Emily, signed up. And you know, the juggle is real. We're all juggling glass balls. So we can't do all the stuff that we want to do, and that's fine. but the stuff that we do, it's so nice to meet like-minded women who, you know, I'm not as glamorous as others, but I'm sure that's acceptable.
No,
just gotta, you know.
Here's the thing with this. It's not about that at all.
No.
The events are really what's posh,
Yeah.
but it also gives the safe haven for the fashion forward moms that do like that. This is their safe place.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you come in, you're like, listen, I'm not all about that.
Yeah.
But you respect that the person next to you is.
Yeah.
And she's going to show up with those 6-inch heels,
Yeah.
full,
Good for her.
full.
Yep.
You're not going to sit there and ridicule her
Absolutely not.
No way.
because it took her a lot of work to put that baby down, feed the baby, get ready. She probably had to get ready 3 hours in advance because she had to do feeding in between.
Yep.
Don't ridicule her
Yeah.
or put her down or hate her.
Yeah.
If you were a mom and you look glamorous, God bless you. Because
Yeah.
I know how hard it was just to
Mhm.
leave out the door. And I know that you're not doing it for attention of men or whatever it is that society says. It's for you.
Yeah.
And I know that. So the next time you see a woman with 3 kids pushing a cart and she has really tiny shorts, probably some giant wedges, you look at her and you say, you look beautiful today.
Absolutely.
Because that is
Love that.
all, she just wants to feel herself
Amazing.
again.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
And that's what Posh Mums
So-
does, which is amazing. Because
Yes.
it draws you and you think, do you know what? For I don't know, a couple of hours that night out, I felt, you know.
Correct.
I
And I
felt
get
it.
home.
I had the best time. I had a
Yeah.
couple
Get
of glasses
home
of
and I
wine,
rip
met
it all
really
off.
nice
And
women,
I
you know,
feel like
new
life
chapters.
really
Yep.
started
Right.
for me. I don't know for everyone else. Once I became a mom, I don't know what the heck I was doing.
Mhm.
There really was no purpose. That village and that voice for those women, I think we're breaking that barrier of
Absolutely.
if you're a mom, you just got to sit in the shadows and deal with the depression that comes with it. And it comes with it. It is a very, very, very exhausting job. And I
Mhm.
think that it's highly overlooked and it's very taboo, right? You can't say that. You're not allowed to. You got to be happy, right? You're
All
a
the
mom
time.
all the
Right.
time.
All the time.
You're human.
Yeah.
And
Human too.
so anyway, so we're going to bring light to that. And so the identity crisis with motherhood, like, did you all experience it? I know that I did. Once you have your child, once the baby's there, did you feel like I always wanted to be a mom? Even in my 20s, I knew that I wanted to be a
Right.
mom.
Me too.
Same.
But then when it happened, you're like, no one prepared me for this part.
Right.
Now you're no longer called by your name. You're called by mom. So you don't even hear your name half the time. And you kind of don't know, like, how are you supposed to work and do this at the same time? And then if you don't work, now you're labeled a stay-at-home mom. And there's a really bad misconception with that. And if you become a career woman, then you're not always home. So there's a misconception with
Yep.
that, right?
It's almost
Mhm.
like it doesn't matter what direction
Yeah.
you take.
No matter what
There's
direction,
always
it's
going to be
wrong.
always going to be a comment
Yeah.
Correct.
from either
Correct.
direction. So coming out of the military, I was initially in Fort Bragg, which is a lot of people. This is the largest base, and then we, our order said, for Missouri, our whole world kind of closed in. So not only did I get pregnant almost immediately being there, I didn't know anybody.
Oh, that's so sad.
That's
And
tough.
then you can't really trust anyone.
Mhm.
There's a lot of military spouses. It could be hard to connect with them.
Why do you think that is?
'Cause
Other
it-
white military moms, why do
they
you
could-
think you can't?
the spouses, because everyone moves so frequently, so that
They're guarded.
You
Once
don't have time to-
Guarded.
right. So for an example, if you're like, wow, like let's just say that you're another, military mom, and you say, wow, like you seem, really nice, let's connect,
Mhm.
and then in 2 weeks you're moving.
And so
So-
it's almost
so-
heartbreak.
So it's almost like
Yeah.
a lot of times
You can protect yourself from.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
It's like a slight wall. It's
Mhm.
not like a brick wall,
Yeah.
but it's still a wall in between.
Mhm.
But not having that support and not, kind of, I wouldn't say losing myself, but not having anyone around. It
So
felt
lonely.
Extremely lonely.
You need a tribe. You need some form of network.
I
So
mean,
sad.
I still stayed in contact with, friends on,
Of course,
the
yeah.
phone and
It's different though,
and
isn't it?
social media, but just not having anyone
when the child doesn't speak and your spouse is at work,
and you
the
sleep
house is
deprived.
so
Right.
empty. You have
Yeah.
no one.
Yeah, but you also sleep
spend the
deprived,
sleep-
so you
the
can't.
sleep deprivation
Yeah.
is the worst.
Right.
It's
so
awful.
you're adding all of those things on.
Oof. I'm
And-
remembering it's awful. And you can't vocalize it because you sound selfish.
Yep.
Right? Like, how dare you? Like, look at your child. She's beautiful. He's beautiful. Like, and so you just suppress it. And that's the worst thing you can do is
Mhm.
suppress it. And so many women have to. I mean, you're so judged. And it's really sad.
Particularly if the comeback is where you've got everything, because people think, materialistic stuff does not make up for
No.
the stuff that matters.
No.
You can't put a
No,
price on it.
right.
It's
No.
not about.
It's temporary. It's a temporary Band-Aid.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what can we do or suggest for women that are feeling like this? How can they try to get out of that and find their identity? Email us. I'm just kidding. What?
Speak up and mention it. Say,
Talk
you
to
know what?
someone.
I'm not feeling okay. This is not how I am. And just vocalize it. Like, even, when you go to your checkup, say, hey, you know what? I'm not feeling all right. And don't brush it off on
talk to people.
Like,
Open up.
Bring
up.
it
I
up.
think it was taboo for a while. Like in our parents' generation,
No one talked about that.
you don't talk
At
about
all,
that.
yeah.
Go even further
No, but
back. Definitely, you couldn't. They would
It's more-
Baker Act you.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't allowed as a woman to express any emotion, right?
No.
You had to
Right.
wear the pearls and vacuum and live life.
But times have
torturous.
changed, because they never used to also, years ago, there wasn't as many mums that used to go to work. Nowadays,
it's
we're
very
doing
true.
everything.
Correct.
We're doing everything. You're working, you're cleaning, you're ironing, you're doing school pickups. When my eldest one started school, I was like, shit, I've gone from having childcare for 12 hours a day to having a 6-hour window. You just don't get anything done. By the
Mhm.
time you get there and prepare, it's a
We have
different
so much on our
ballgame.
plate
So
now.
Yeah.
looping
Yeah.
that from the identity, going into what you do with mothers and finance.
Mhm.
On top of being a mother, then a lot of them become stay-at-home mothers. So let's say you were this amazing woman, independent, and then, the child born, you find yourself in a position of making the decision, do I go back? Do I stay? Do I not? Because obviously, not bashing men, but, no one's called a working dad, right? It's just, he goes to work. That's normal. It's
Right.
all on you. And you've
Right.
got to make this decision. So let's say you choose to stay, which that is totally okay. That's great. That's awesome. Let's say you marry a billionaire. Awesome. What are you doing as a woman and the right that everyone's fought through, women's suffrage, all of that? What are you doing to have a safety net for yourself in case of an emergency? Let's say the marriage doesn't pan out the way. I'm not saying that, try to work it out. What are you doing as a woman to protect yourself and your children? And that's where kind of Kate comes in. And I think a lot of women get married and just kind of, well, he pays all the bills. You don't even know how to pay the own bill yourself. There's so many women that are trapped in really horrific relationships because they don't have a way out, right? If you had, the relationship would be an option, not a necessity. And you want to be in a healthy marriage where you're there not because you want to.
I think if you're in a really comfortable relationship and you're really happy and you're bobbing along in life and you've got this baby bubble, you're probably less likely to think about the what ifs because you're not scared.
Of course.
Okay, so you're just you're bumbling along in your little bubble. You can't wait for this baby to be born. You maybe trust your situation. If there's no fear there, it probably doesn't force you to be aware of the kind of things that you should be aware of, and that is really self-sufficiency. So my situation, I had Abby I felt pregnant when I was 27, and luckily I was in a really good job in the corporate world in the city in London. So I was in a position where I knew that I could slide back in when she was 20 weeks old full time, and I was still able to go back in at that level. But not everyone's in that situation.
Correct.
And I made sure I was in that situation. But what I did have is fear, because I knew my situation wasn't right for lots of different reasons. And I knew the writing was on the wall, but you just try and band-aid it and say, okay, it's going to be fine. I'm going to give it my best shot. It's all about the baby. My situation with my next two, by then I was married and I was in a very comfortable situation. So we're two completely different situations. My first situation, obviously I became a single mom very, very quickly out of choice. But the reason why I became a single mom quickly out of choice is because I could afford to be, because I was self-sufficient, because I had that fear. And luckily I did work in financial services. So I had a little bit of knowledge, although that doesn't necessarily affect your personal situation, because that situation at the time, there was a lot of debt, which was another whole different podcast probably. But the point is this: you have to be self-sufficient. And if you're not scared, it's about education then, because you don't want anyone to be scared. You want everyone to enjoy that whole experience. So therefore that goes back down to education. A lot of us don't get this education when we're pregnant or in school or in higher education. Yep. So you come out of college, you get your first paycheck, you don't really know what it means. What does net mean? What does gross mean? What are deductions? What do we do with it? Never really heard of compound interest, never really heard of growing wealth, or these words are alien to lots of people because we all go into different industries. No one in HR in your first job says to you, okay, let's sit down, let's talk about what this paycheck means. Do they?
No.
I mean, I never had,
No.
So, and unless you come from a family where your parents maybe ran a business. My mum was a nurse. My dad was an engineer at sea in the Merchant Navy. They didn't know about business. They got by from one day to the next or 1 month to the next. And most people do live paycheck to paycheck. And most people do not have a financial advisor. Therefore, if you don't have that fear where you feel like you need to get your money in check and check your tools in your toolbox financially, it's all about education. And I think for me, self-sufficiency is absolutely key for all mums, and they should really roll something out when you become pregnant, because then they don't know, they can't discriminate. They don't know whether you're married, single, whatever your personal situation is. But what they are doing is they're giving you an opportunity to say, right.
So how can they do it though? Let's say, okay, they don't want to go to work. That's fine. I get it. I was a stay-at-home mom for many years. You don't have the ability to. What are some options? Like open an Etsy, sell coffee mugs. I don't care what it is. Save something. Let's say you're married to a very wealthy man. He, as your husband, should be showing you how to do this.
Yeah, but
you should be saved. How many women don't even know what's in their saving accounts?
And lots of women don't even have savings accounts.
That's so scary. I have been there. I didn't know anything about anything. I never even saw a bill. So when the time came, I realized I did not want to wake up 60 and not know anything. I felt like I went from Miss Independent to married to in a golden cage, and I was not bashing anyone. It was my responsibility to get it together, and I didn't have the tools or the right partner that wanted to show me these things.
And it's not
right?
it's not always that easy to ask and say, well, I want to know about our finances, because quite often the comeback can be, if you're in a very comfortable financial situation, well, you don't need to know.
Exactly.
So then it shuts you down.
Yeah,
and you don't want an
push
argument.
back.
You don't want to fall out.
Correct.
You want a happy, peaceful life. So,
So
you just go with the flow.
how can she still do something?
The key is to educate yourself, and it doesn't have to cost money. In an ideal world, we'd all have a financial advisor, but less than 40% of people have a financial advisor because they cost money and because they want to see that you got money in the bank in the first place, because obviously they're doing it to make a living as well. So the key is buddy up with a friend, work with a financial expert like a coach. Become accountable. Find out, what does budgeting really mean? Even if you don't need to budget, understand what it means.
Well, save the
What does
allowance he's
emergency
giving
mean?
you. Okay, ladies, don't take that quote unquote. Well, he gave me take it and put some away for a rainy day. You never know. He could come back tomorrow and say, I no longer love you anymore. He could die and you find out he's not been paying the life insurance policy. You might not even have one in place.
And that stuff happens all the time.
It's so terrifying when there's kids involved.
I think a first great step, honestly, for all women out there, go and pull your credit report.
Oh, wow.
Go and check what's on there. I sit there and my credit score is like,
get your allowance each month if you're stay-at-home mum, and literally break that down. What were wants, what were needs, what did you spend on?
When you go to Target, cash back, ladies. Come on.
Gain your points.
Come on, cash back.
Be smart.
Save.
Yeah.
I know it sounds funny, and I feel like I wish that someone had told me.
No, absolutely.
And people said it to me all the time. I'm like, I'm fine. Just, you never know what tomorrow brings. You really, really don't.
You need a safety net.
You don't.
Yeah.
You as a woman, we fought so hard for this right. All the knowledge is there. Save somehow. Create
Find a passion.
something.
Do something with your
Do
passion.
you like bows? Create some bows.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, do something.
Your own revenue stream.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
we're all
something-
good
It
at
doesn't
something.
have to be, you don't have to be
anything.
making millions.
No.
Not only that, I think it could also bring some great morale. I think it could really help you on top of being busy with the child, but
A creative outlet.
Yes.
No, but
Purpose.
correct.
Yeah.
Purpose.
What are you showing your kids? Daddy did it?
Exactly.
Think about it. All the clothes and shoes you don't wear, sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sell
just
it.
Sell it.
List
Absolutely.
everything that
Great.
you're not using.
Toys,
Oh, yeah.
sell it.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace. There's
Oh.
really no reason that you can't find a niche
Absolutely.
Yeah.
with the internet now that you can't sell something.
There's
And-
someone out there for everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And document it as well, because it's so nice to look back in a month's time and say, right, okay, well, what have I sold on eBay? What have I sold on Facebook Marketplace? What have I made over here? If you document it, you haven't got to be a wizard at spreadsheets, but just literally to reflect and like, oh my God, I've
Well,
actually
most
pulled it.
absolutely,
Look
they
at
even
that.
do it
Yeah.
for you. You
Yeah.
just got to get started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's in the
Protect
palm of your
yourself,
hand. It's in the
protect
palm of your
yourself.
hand. It's like so easy. Yeah. I think it all boils down to education and
Talking about financial, how common is financial abuse in marriages?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, actually.
And what
because-
is financial abuse? Because I think when you say abuse, it really, they're like, oh, I'm not getting abused.
No.
What
but it's-
is financial abuse? Is it the lack of giving them resources to be independent if you want to be independent?
Well, that
Is
that
it-
was an example of what you gave earlier, because if you're in a real cushy situation in your relationship and you're lucky enough to have, I'm going to say the guy, because historically, the guy's a breadwinner, and you're at home and you're giving up an element of your career, which means you're giving up an element of your earnings, which means you're really on the motherhood penalty sort of platform there, because in years to come, you've not invested so much of your earnings or potential earnings into
On
your
paper.
retirement fund. Exactly. So this snowballs into lots of different things, but that is abusive in itself, isn't it? Saying, well, you don't need to know. Because that's a way of being coercive. That's a way of saying, well, actually, they're there, you're fine. You don't need to know that.
Oh my
I'm in
gosh.
control. It's slating guys at all. But seeing as we're all women sitting around the table here, it's that can be classed as a form of abuse, because it's that you don't need to know. And the reason why I started Money Mindset Mothers, because so many of my friends, educated women, GPs, teachers, all sorts of backgrounds, were like, Kate, I don't have a will. I don't have life insurance. I've got mortgage cover. But
I had a lady tell me the other day, her first marriage, when he left her, she didn't know how to sign a check.
And that's not
Wow.
abnormal.
And she didn't
That's
know
not
how to sign a
abnormal.
check. She had children. Like, it's
Sadly.
very sad.
Mhm.
He always paid everything.
Yeah.
She
And-
didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So what is it? What is a healthy marriage supposed to look? I had a friend ask me, and I was in a very vulnerable state, which I think you may, do I want someone that's financially secure? Absolutely. But I want them to be so secure within themselves. I don't think people have a realistic look in marriage. Now it's more like, oh, we like the same shows. We like the same movies. Stop asking stupid questions during the day. Do you like dogs or cats? Like, are you
Good
going to
one.
be hands-on?
Yeah.
What does it look in the household when you come home from work? What is your expectations of me?
Yeah.
The savings, how is that going to look? Am I going to have the password, or am I going to be left in the dark? These are questions that women don't ask. Oh, we have so much in common. I love the way he smells. This is not going to give you a high success rate in marriage, right? My parents have been together 42 years. That is the rarity. They've known each other since high school. I would love to have that. But you know what? They're best friends and they're partners. And that is so important in any relationship. And it goes back to finances. Honestly, I think that's like the root of so many issues when the woman is left in the dark, or she can't, she wants to create her own little passion, whether it be like an online store, or I don't care what it is, grooming pets. Whatever and he shuts her down.
Mhm.
That is,
It has to be supportive.
Yeah.
well, it becomes,
You have to be on the same page.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Me starting my own store initially, it started off as a hobby.
Exactly.
And I just kind of did it for fun. Like, it brings me joy. And then I've actually even seen Ali out and about when I'm out. But it's
incredible.
What brings me joy in all of it is not only just making sure that I'm financially good. I have time. Time for me is
Freedom.
more valuable than anything else. But also bringing happiness to other people. So, I've sent stuff to the entire country, every single state. So for me, sending a pair of jeans to Idaho for someone that brings joy for them, and they're like, or a pair of
Have you ever
shorts.
Googled them?
I'm gonna sound so creepy now, but
I want to know where's my jeans going.
No, I would say
I'm so
no, but I would be lying. A couple times when the shipping label has looked a little weird, I have Googled, and there's been some famous people that I have.
Oh,
actually sent
cool.
Really? Oh, that's neat.
cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So back to that. So for an example, like in the beginning, since it was a hobby, my husband went to an actual job, so he didn't see it as a job. But now I'm being comfortable with what I'm making, and I have the.
You're
extra
killing
plan.
it. You're being very humble about it. She is killing it.
Yeah, no, it's been going better, but just being able to provide that service for
Mhm.
people, and just being able to stall for other people.
Of course.
So
Okay, tell
That's
me
right.
about side parts, because I love my side part.
Same.
It's a classic look. When I
Same.
do it, I like the whole 1940s. Like, I'm born in the wrong.
No,
era,
for sure.
but
Absolutely. I think
There's a lot of stuff about it. But I'm sorry. You're talking about what's hot, what's not. And I'm
That's
looking
totally-
and everyone looks just so hot and stunning. And it scares a lot of women away.
100%.
They're like, oh, I'm not joining those girls.
Oh, they call it the Hot Moms Club.
What?
They're like, oh, the Hot Moms Club. I'm like, no, the Posh Moms Club. Yeah, everyone is hot, but like, it's the Posh Moms.
It annoys me because a lot of men will be like, oh, you guys just like to prance around in really tight clothes. You're sick.
Yeah.
That is not.
We don't do that.
My
to
husband
them,
would
you
love me
know.
to look like that.
Most of these women have more degrees
Yeah.
than you can count.
Yeah, really.
While he's sitting there scratching his balls, like he has no idea what he's talking about.
Ouch.
Each of these women are so unique, so bright, are killing it in the community, and it's just so funny because that's all they see. But seeing everyone, I know what I looked like the night before.
Well,
This
also just
photo.
for reference, on the podcast, there's a picture that we have here
What?
of the entire club.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up a photo of me in the morning.
I have a massive photo, from the majority of the members. Or
Yeah, I mean, we are at 80 now, but it's who could make it that day.
it's quite a lot of members. It's a stunning photo. Everyone's like in vibrant colors. Everyone's looking really, really great, and that's what we're referring to.
Do you know why we picked that color?
I don't know. Everyone looks good in it.
We did neon to show diversity. That was the theme for this year, was diversity. Usually there's always the theme. The red was for power. Black was for elegance. There's always going to be a theme. This year was straight diversity.
Well, I love
And
that.
it was to show that we all are different. I mean, if you look at this picture, it's like the United Nations. Like we have every ethnicity, religion, like whatever
Walk of
side
life,
they're
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
We all get along. Listen, there's some bad seeds that I've had to put out some fires. It happens. It's a group of women. It's
Mhm.
unfortunate. And I wish you well, and I'll pray for you. But for the most part, everyone's positive and gets along, and it's so beautiful. But it's just funny. We're talking about what's hot and what's not. I'm looking at this,
Yeah.
and it's just so intimidating. I get it. I would be terrified to join this group, but
More
that's
you
true.
realize that it's all right. Like people have got to love me for me, or if they don't, that's fine.
That's fine
You
too.
can't please everyone.
Can you read it though?
This
It's
is
a question.
hot. Okay, yeah, no,
Okay.
I can. You ready?
All right.
90s fashion.
Some hot, some not. Let's get into it. Go into it because they're in there.
Oh, is that what that is?
This is
Oh God, low-rise jeans.
so not hot. Not hot. I'm
They're
sorry.
coming back.
I know they are.
Scary.
They're scary. It's not hot. I've got the
Scary.
mom bod. I don't want the low rise jeans.
Did you know we're not allowed to have mom bods?
I know, but dad
dad
bods
bods-
is like hot. Why
They
is
didn't
mom
have
bods?
the kid.
Why is mom
not
bods
cool.
not acceptable, not hot, but dad bods is hot?
They didn't have the kid. They just ate a bunch of Cheetos
Yeah,
and
along the way.
fried pickles
Yeah.
and Hooters.
Yeah,
And for some reason,
that's
that's
hot.
acceptable.
Yeah,
all
don't
right,
know.
I gotta
No.
stop. I sound like I'm bashing men.
No.
I love men.
We love men, but
I
we're
just
not.
don't. I've
The double
realized,
standard.
I've just
It's
realized
the
I
double
don't.
standard.
Yeah.
For me.
I don't need layered tank tops.
Not hot.
awful.
Not hot.
I did that. Did you do that?
We all did that with the next one. The
Large
braided wide
belts,
belt.
they're coming back.
Why is this already coming back?
I
It
don't know.
wasn't good then. It's not great now. I'm sorry. I'm not here for it.
Oversized baggy jeans,
So this one is hard
like
for me
Jinkos.
because sadly they're kind of along those lines. Hear me out though. They're kind of hot. I want them to look good on
like
me.
cargo. Just
I guess
baggy.
cargos is supposedly coming back in too.
They
But
are.
Oh God.
okay, so I'm gonna say on the right person, they can be super hot, but
Okay.
they're not hot on me.
I
think the
I'm
brand
not
outlet-
even, I feel like we're going to end up getting the strangest sponsors on
Yeah.
here. They're like, they talked about Jinkos. Let's get on the show. We don't, thank you, but no, thank you.
Okay.
That's not for us. Okay. Claw clips.
Okay, so this one absolutely
back.
kills me. So I will go with it is a cute.
We're
I
so over
I know,
time.
it's so overtime. Okay, kind of cute. Love the
The red is
trend.
gone.
I do find it really funny that people on like social media are making this so iconic right now and acting as if they're like reinventing a brand new idea. These clips I use like every morning when doing my makeup, and like
and then you put them back away.
and then I put it back away. I do have to say though, I am completely obsessed with the whole like Pamela Anderson hairdo trend that's
you
back.
wrote that on here.
I
I'm
wrote
not
that
getting
on-
her eyebrows. You're out of your mind.
No, I am not getting the
Oh,
eyebrows.
Well,
Lord.
that's part
No.
of Pamela Anderson.
I have
It
them
says-
like underneath this.
you
and
literally
it's
wrote
unfortunate.
Pamela Anderson hair and makeup. What
Yeah.
part of her makeup do you like?
I actually do like the smoky eye nude lip. You know that's me.
Oh,
That is
okay.
a very Pam.
If you
Anderson
show
look.
up here with her old eyebrows,
honey, you've seen them. They're underneath.
You know
this.
how
I
I
just
am.
don't wear them
no,
out.
you know how I am about eyebrows. Like I freak out. I
Oh,
have
you
like a
freak out.
spoolie in like my.
But this is another topic of mine because here we are with this one. That right now the trend is to be like the very soft, natural brow. just kind of combed out,
I can't do that.
fresh makeup. But here's the thing: when you have those 90s brows that never grew back in after you wax them, you don't have a choice but to do an
I
ombre
see what
brow.
you're saying.
So my trend's forever going to be ombre brow for me, but it looks phenomenal on other people. So if you have
That is
great brows,
hilarious.
they're hot.
No, there's a show called The Munsters. It's like an old
I
show.
remember The Munsters.
And it's the little boy, the vampire. Like those are like literally my natural eyebrows. They're huge.
They're huge. You're
They're
so
awful.
lucky. I wish I had huge brows. Minimalist jewelry is like really dainty jewelry. So it's like, I
Okay.
even have them kind of like on today. So like simple little hoops, dainty little necklaces. Like I'm here for it. I think it's really cute, super sweet. It's really chic. I'm into it. It's hot.
Okay. Bold colors like greens and pinks and bold print.
We're seeing prints in bold colors.
You better
everywhere.
say yes because it's literally behind
No,
you.
love.
You're going to age all of us. if you said
Honestly,
no.
neon is my
Okay.
favorite.
Okay,
That's why it was my
cool.
favorite look that you came up with.
Oh, cool.
But bold colors, yes. And bold patterns, not for me, but it is cute. But bold colors, definitely on board.
Blazers.
Love a good blazer, classic. You compare it with jeans, you compare it with dresses, skirts. The trend of a jacket and skirt, like a pairing of a suit is
I love blazers.
on trend. We love a blazer.
Linen sets.
I love sets, period. We are moms. We need easy.
I get it, but
How
you have
simple.
to iron that shit. And I don't iron.
Oh my God.
Steam
I don't,
is your
yes,
best friend.
I need to
Steam,
buy a steamer. I can't find it. It was like in
Steam,
storage and I don't know where I
hang.
put it.
Make sure it's hung up.
I'm a mess.
But sets, let me just
Huh? Okay, matching sets.
love a good matching set. Goes back to linen. I
Yeah.
love it. I think it's easy.
Why am I sitting like this?
I don't know. You're like hunched over and nervous. Like, hello.
Why do I look like that? I look like a weird little
It's
turtle.
because we're getting comfortable. So we're like,
No,
there's-
I was like literally like this. That's terrible. How long was I like that?
oh my God, I don't know. Just
Why? You're a friend.
Edit
You're
that
supposed
out.
to be like,
I'm like
sit
really
up.
caught
All
up
right,
in what we're
continue.
talking about.
Frost eye.
Okay, so Frost is coming back in. Shimmer.
Like Wet and Wild.
Kind of, yeah, I guess.
Wet and Wild's better now.
It is better now. I love a shimmery eye. We know this. I'm like a glitter gal, right? I
Okay.
love this. So I think hot frosted lip, not my
Okay.
thing.
Ugh.
I love a bronzy lip. I'm okay
Okay.
with that, but that's where it ends.
What's baby doll cheeks?
That really pretty pink cheek that's in
Okay.
right now, that fleshy, like, am I allowed to say Dior rosy glow on the cheek?
Okay.
Super pretty.
I don't have. What happens if you don't have the right complexion?
That was my secondary thing. It's
Okay.
hot, but it really depends on your complexion. It's
yeah.
tricky for the more yellow undertone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but it's
think I
pretty.
look like a clown. All right. If I came in here with these circles because you told me that baby doll cheeks were cute, I'd
We'll
look
work on placement.
ridiculous.
We're not circled.
Minimal makeup trend.
Hot if you take care of your skin. People
Okay.
that take care of their skin, beautiful freckles, go for their facials, keep their skin hydrated and glowing, beautiful. Not for me.
Okay.
Not for me. Hot for the right person. Yes.
That is such a lie. Okay,
What?
I just
Which one?
No,
It's
let's-
all over
no,
the runway
which one
right
was a
now.
lie?
No.
The
I'm
minimal
no,
makeup?
No, the part where it doesn't look good on her.
Oh.
Belly.
Oh,
no.
yeah,
so,
I know.
No,
This
so,
one.
no, no, so
Annoying.
let's
I love
just talk
this.
about this honestly. So I have seen you in the wild.
Yes, you have.
And she feels like maybe that was the wild, but you were so stunning,
Oh.
even without makeup.
Yeah.
I'm just
Whoa.
like,
We hug
now? Are we
no,
allowed to hug on camera? I love you.
but I'm serious.
Thank you, friend.
So like a lot of moms like just
Are you drinking that?
Hmm.
I know we're both like,
Yeah. No.
hold up.
No.
Wait,
No.
No, it's actually true.
Listen, Dolly Parton's my favorite person, so that should tell you a lot about me.
Right,
Right.
100%.
So leave me
Yes.
alone.
Leave me alone. We're
God.
good.
Yeah.
I thank you guys so much for coming. I
So
know
much fun.
it was maybe like a little, it's new, but I appreciate
fun.
you guys
It
so
was
much.
so much
Thank you.
fun.
And the ladies that are listening to us, you're not alone. We're here. We put the glitz and glam of motherhood, but we also give you a reality check. So check us out on what is it? The Posh Mama Club. I'm like, what is it? Finding Dory. I have like the worst memory.
Oh,
By the way, this is gonna go in the show notes,
www.posh
so if you can't follow us.
mamaclub.com. And where can they find you if they want to talk to you and check?
Money Mindset Mother on Instagram is the best go-to.
Awesome. Do you guys want to share anything? Work on that because you're coming back to do some
Yes,
Posh
ma'am.
on the budget.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about
Yeah,
that.
I'll definitely help out.
She's amazing. Again, thanks again. And
Thanks.
it's a
Em.
wrap.
Emily.
Thank you for coming.
Woo-hoo.